Shalom, balance, paradise, all. Welcome back in the lab one more again. And I've got a special guest with me, Akonne, the Jedi Wanliss, professional mixed martial arts fighter. And we're going to go past, present, future, everything in between. And we're going to get to know this sibling a bit more, understand his goals, aspirations, and we're going to get into the build. So welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot you were saying welcome to me. Well, it's just because we had a little chat before in it, so it's like
definite. All good, man. Honors and thank you very much for coming on to the broadcast. Many are called, but not many answer. So let's take it back. Let's go back. You're clearly known as a proficient and very talented mixed martial artist. Let's go back to the inception. Where were you born, sibling? Where was you born at?
I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica, and I came over to England. I landed in Wolverhampton around about 1. I was 1 year old, still in nappy. Didn't even know how to talk hardly. Apparently, I had a few like mumbling sounds that would make words. So I guess I was an intellectual baby. And yeah, started life in Wolverhampton and slowly made my way over to Birmingham as I grew as an adult. And we'll dissect that some more.
Yes. So Wolverhampton, growing up in Wolverhampton, the Black Country. What was that like?
902.
That's it. Exactly.
Repping.
WV.
Yeah, WV. It was an experience because I was like in the center, as you could say. Like I was in Horsley Fields.
Okay.
And not many people. Everyone knows about All Saints and Heathtown, but like I was in like smack bang in the middle of like All Saints. And growing up in Wolverhampton, I was pretty much like a in the middle kid, in terms of the in-betweeners.
Yes.
Just a lot more cooler. So I would get along with everybody essentially. So I would have friends from that side of town, Heathtown, and All Saints and stuff, and it would let me see a massive wide spectre and just kind of like blessings to my mom. She kept me out of a lot of trouble, so I was able to keep off the streets and stuff. And I had a strict curfew, being my mom's coming straight from Jamaica. It was no joke. We had to wake up, do our chores. Our friends would knock for us at 1 o'clock, around about this time or something. Dad, ain't gonna come out? No, man, it was broken my backs, elbow grease, everything. So from Wolverhampton, hard work was instilled in me, and that was really the birth of the Jedi, the birth of my fighting and stuff, and how I really came to find that.
So did you always have a passion for combat sports at that growing up? Was you always like interested in boxing and that kind of stuff, or what was the tipping point to move you and focus you to combat sports?
So let's go back into when I was in childhood. So when I was in my childhood, I was into football first, which was weird, and I used to like to play goalie because I could never really control the ball properly. I'm not gonna lie, and had two left feet. Like I was rapid. I was like on the wing, so rapid. Boom, get to the ball. I could take the ball off anybody because I'd just be so rapid. But when I come to pass the ball, I'm telling you, I'm kicking it. I kick it that way, and it goes somewhere else.
Clean and excited.
Clean. What's going on? And you'd always play. It didn't help living in England. It always wet every time you play football.
Of course.
And it's muddy every time. It's just like, you might as well play rugby.
Yes.
It was just one of them. And so through school, I ended up like kind of disliking football, getting away from that. And I got into ice hockey, which was...
That's different.
It's mad different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I got into ice hockey and I fell in love with ice hockey. Ice hockey was my sport, and it was my well, it was my second main passion, because I'm forgetting my first main passion, which was motorsports. Again, another random thingy. Because I used to watch motorsports and MotoGP quite a lot.
On Eurosports?
Eurosports. That
You
one.
know it.
And I
You
used
know it.
yeah, and I used to love Valentino Rossi, man. He was my guy. My guy. I was like, geez. So I started begging my mum to try and get me to race these motorbikes. And my friend would have a bike, and my dad had bikes, and my cousin had bikes. So I had a lot of opportunities to learn how to ride a bike from young. And I was like 14 or something like that at that time. And I was getting really good, because we could go to these open sessions, and I would like literally be on the car park, like put some cones somewhere, and I'd be like dropping a knee and everything. I was a gangster. I was a gangster on the bike. And then there was this thing called Red Bulls Rookies Cup, which is a organization that allows young riders who haven't got the opportunity to, fund their MotoGP career. As you know, it's pretty expensive and lucrative. And it's to help bring, like, they wanted like a big flux of like English guys to go in there, and I got selected as one of them. And you still had to pay for your flight to go to Catalonia and do the race. Whoa, it's pissing. I don't know if I can swear on here, but it's...
No, go for it, man. Go for it.
I just noticed it's chucking it down outside.
It hasn't come my way yet, man. It's coming then.
It's coming, man. But anyway, I got through to that, and this was going to be the start of my MotoGP career and getting through. But then, unfortunately, my mum needed an operation, a very vital operation on her foot, because she couldn't like work and walk anymore on it. And that route was kind of chosen instead of buying the ticket. So that was my first crush of my dream. My dream felt like it was crushed, and I was like, had to reevaluate something else. And I was getting into ice hockey at the time, so I was playing ice hockey for about 2-3 years. And again, with my addictive person.
Are we playing ice hockey in Wolves or
Telford?
I was going to say, kinda. Yeah. Okay, not too far. Yeah, not too far. So, luckily I had a friend, an older friend. I can't remember where I met them. I can't remember where I met them, but they just used to pick me up. And, when you're so young, you can't remember how you meet some people, Yes. They used to pick me up and just take me to ice hockey every single week, a couple times a week. And I was signed, like big boy like that. But I was with a team. The Telford Titans or Tigers? I can't remember. Titans, I'm sure it is.
It wasn't a big boy team. I was young, so it was Telford Tigers or something like that. And then my dreams of going to play going to Canada. I was begging my mom to send me off to Canada. I was like, Mom, I gotta do this. You gotta send me to Canada. So I was going down that route, and that again, like, just never really materialized, because again, it's another lucrative sport.
Yeah.
And then, long story short, I ended up dancing. I was at school, and this guy came in and he started doing some breakdancing called Money B. You heard of Money?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It's small world, isn't it?
Definite.
So Money B, he came into my school when I was a kid, and I'm telling you, my man was doing some elbow hops, some next spinning moves and stuff. And I was thinking, I'm like mid-pack in the school. I don't get like too beat up because I can look after myself. Like, I was pretty like, I wasn't afraid to like just I couldn't fight at that time, but I wasn't afraid to throw down, man. I was one of them kids, them dark horses where, I had heart. You get me? I just don't push me the wrong way.
Yes.
But I wasn't one of them kids to be afraid of. Like, look at my face, man. It was too cute. Too damn cute back then. You get me?
He was no menacing character at school.
I was no menacing character at school. And I was short, man. I wasn't even tall or anything. Like, now I'm 6'1" and beast mode. So it's like,
So growth spurt wise, when did you have that growth spurt? Post secondary school.
Post-secondary, yeah. So after I left school, I remember I was quite not taller than all of the boys. And then when I went into high school, not high school, I mean college.
Mm-hmm.
That's when boom, I sprout up, bro. I went big, but but back to money. I remember I met him, and it was we were he was dancing, and I was like, holy shit, I need to learn this. So I got, again, my addictive personality. I went straight into breakdancing, and
Yeah.
I joined the crew, Transit Tricks, and we were dancing. We just went like to Wales and everything, and we were doing like loads of competitions. And then now my mom used to put us into like activities every single week.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have to do like ballet when I was a kid. So I did that for a few years, like tap dancing, and then we've done the kickboxing, karate. Sorry. So I started in karate, and this is where the martial arts started to come into it.
Okay.
So I met my first. If you want to jump in at any time, I'll chat for days. You know,
Yeah, no,
England,
I'll jump in. Don't worry about that.
yeah. So this is the first time I met my original instructor, called Dylan Fitzpatrick, and Edward Betterson. So them two were teaching me when I was a kid, because I didn't like karate. It was too slow for me.
Very regimented.
Even though the guy, yeah, very regimented, and I was a bit of a wild kid. I didn't want to stay still for too long. But then kickboxing was a bit more fun because, you know, the points fighting stuff.
Yeah.
You know, where you got the circle, and you've probably seen MVP before, you know,
yes,
jumping and flying stuff.
Yeah.
I love that stuff, you know, like I used to watch Raymond Daniels work a lot. And yeah. So that sort of stuff inspired me, and I was like, yeah, that's really cool. I'd love to do that. So I was with them instructors, but again, I just wasn't into more other stuff. I was just, at the time, I was into my ice hockey, and then I got into the break. That's when I really got into the break dancing, and I was just into that. So I went full-fledged into that. And then I'm telling you, I'm now around about, I think, 1920, right? So this is where the shift happened. I'm about 20 now, yeah.
Before you get into the shift, clearly from what you're saying, your mother played a vital role in regards to providing alternative and a varied amount of activities that kept you, as you say, straight, and didn't lead down a path which so many people can easily fall into.
Yeah, easily. And nothing against Wolves, but easily can in Wolves, you know what I mean?
Especially in Wolves, unfortunately.
Especially in Wolves. I know. There's nothing else really much to do, or much inspo back then anyway, you know? It's really...
I don't think... I mean, would you say much has changed?
I haven't been back for so long, but in MMA perspective terms, from my perspective, what I see, I feel like there's a few more... it has changed, is in terms of, like, at least there's 1, 2, 3, like a handful.
Yes,
you know
exactly.
But back in the day, there was nothing, man.
There's nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. Like, it was the wrong path. The wrong path that was shown to her.
Yes.
But yeah, my mom definitely had a massive role in keeping us straight and narrow, because I think, obviously, definitely coming from her background, from the stuff that she went through, it was a massive inspiration and a massive, like, no for her her kids had to be gold, you know, had to be, or else we get whooped.
Oh yeah. You clearly was brought up with the Caribbean, as the Americans would say, Caribbean household, where, you know, there was boundaries. You knew, you had respect for your elders. You had to maintain the house and do certain chores before you could go out and do your extracurricular stuff. Homework had to be done. It was a discipline. For some people, you know, when you're going through it as a child, it's like, my gosh, why is it like this? But as you mature, it most definitely is, but it prepares you and gives you the discipline, it gives you the love, it gives you the direction of, okay, these are the things that made me who I am today, kind of thing.
I am, yeah, straight up, man, straight up. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't. I thank my mom today for the way she grew us up. Obviously, I know it's a bit more militant and stuff, and I would adjust a few things with my own kids. But definitely, like, she grew us up very well, man. Very well. So hats off to my mom.
Round of applause for your mother, and any mother and parents who can provide a good level of love and structure. The most important thing, especially within this day and time, with all of the modern trappings of internets and tablets and mobile phones and stuff and social media, to have that structure, to be able to physically go out and do some activities rather than being stuck behind a computer with a headset on, shooting and stabbing people. It's a kind of, you know, it's a far cry from, as you say, 12, 1 to 2 o'clock, your friends will be knocking your door saying, can Akonne come out and play?
It's like, no, he's not done work yet.
This is it.
He started, I was about to say the line what my mum used to say. You know, I can't release that line, man.
Family secrets.
Yeah. Just know them kids were running.
Yes, definitely. So let's get to you that breaking point then, around 1920.
Yeah, so around about 20. So I had my first, just as everyone has, I had my first love, my first relationship, and I was so besotted in this relationship. I thought this was it. You know, I was working at McDonald's and I was just so happy with life at the time, and I was like, this was it. That was it for me. I wasn't even thinking about fighting or anything, and I think I'd fell off everything just because I was just so into that relationship sort of thing. And then it ended badly, as most fairy tales do, right? I guess. But ended badly, and I remember I'll be real, you get me? I'll be real. I was bawling on the doorstep, you get me? I was in bits, man. I was done. I remember speaking to my mum, and my mum was like, Mom said something like, I can't remember what the exact words she said, but it was along the lines of pick yourself up, or something along them lines. I can't remember about how she grew me up. It was all black because all she probably could hear was,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, over a woman.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And again, maybe some words that I can't release again. But she picked me up, and once I got back on my feet, it didn't take me long to bounce back, maybe a couple of days. And I remember I started to find myself again, like, what was I into? You know, what do I want? I wasn't like, I didn't really like working at McDonald's. So I had gone through college and I got my personal training qualification. So I went down that route of being a personal trainer.
Okay.
So I'm doing personal training, and my kickboxing instructor messaged me on Facebook, because I'm on Facebook nowadays, and all them things. And I remember I started, like, again, addictive personality, started going into drinking and partying, as most people at that age do. Anyway.
Of course, yeah. That's what's promoted as well. Think about it. That's what they promote you to do when you're that age.
Yeah, of course. So I'm like a mess right now. Like I kind of got like I was out at my mom's house because she had kicked me out because of some madness, because I was, again, just a rebel child, but I was of age, so it was time to fly the nest. And I lost a few string of jobs, but obviously landed in McDonald's, which, God bless them, they were more patient with me than any other job. But that's because I knew a lot of the higher ups, which was good. But then I was like, this is not it for me, man. I got myself the personal training qualification all wrapped up, pulled it out, found myself a job in Pure Gym, landed there, started killing it, absolutely smashing it, and then started training people who are like athletes, right? In different sports.
Is this still in Wolverhampton?
This is still in Wolves, yeah. So okay. I was in the Pure Gym, the one on by the Ring Road. I can't remember what it was called. By
North,
the Ring
I think
Road.
that's Pure Gym North, and then the one further down is Pure Gym South.
Pure Gym South.
That's the one on the New Road.
Yes, New Road, yeah.
Yeah.
On the Birmingham New Road.
Yes.
So the glass from two floors, glass from
the two floors. That's Pure Gym South. Then yes.
that was me. So I used to rule the roost. Me and this other boy called Sam Gordon till he got sacked. Unfortunately, there we used to rule the roost. There, we used to kill it, but we used to make a killing because we were young, looking good, and we had the knowledge and we knew what to do, how to get the results. You know? So then I started going into more like specialists with helping people like with their athlete, like some fighters as well, and some people that would do like running or basketball and stuff. And that kind of got me into my buzz of competing again. Now, before, sometime in between that, my old kickboxing instructor had messaged me on one night out saying, "Oh, you pussy, come back and fight." He's like, "Can you even fight anymore?" And I'm on a night out, right? So I'm all like buzzing right now. I'm thinking, "Hey, yo, hold on, when sparring? I'm coming when sparring." So the next day, this is Friday night. The next day, I'm hungover as hell. And my other mate, Kieran, at the time, a good friend of mine, he used to kickbox throughout his whole life. So me and him had made a pact that we're going. So we woke up in the morning, we went to the sparring at 12 and we were smashed. We just got battered, obviously, because we couldn't even see, still seeing double vision and stuff like that. Stupid idea. But that woke something in me. I was like, I stopped drinking. I just started focusing on fighting. And training, and at the same time training these athletes kind of really got me the buzz to want to compete myself. So I started competing in kickboxing, winning a couple titles. I won the Celtic title where I went to Wales, Celtic. What is it? Scotland. Scotland, yeah,
yeah,
Celtic.
Scotland. I would say Celtic. Yeah.
And I went there, and it was meant to be a 5-round fight. We've done 5 rounds. I swear I backed this guy for 5 rounds and they made us do another round for some dumb reason. So I earned that damn title. So I got that title, and then I got 2 English titles as well with MMA. And then I fought 2 British titles for 2 British ones, and I lost these 2. And I was kind of like only very, very, very shortly lost these 2. And I was looking at turning professional in kickboxing. And then I seen Diego Sanchez fight on UFC, and I wasn't even I wasn't watching MMA at the time. Didn't really know too much about it, and I seen that fight, and my mum was swinging out, and I was thinking, yo, I could clap my man's jaw. What's going on here? And then I started looking at the careers and how much money you could generate, and then I'm looking at the careers and how much money you can generate in kickboxing. And I'm thinking, fighting £500 for a world title, and I'm like, nah, this ain't that ain't good. That ain't right. Well, I could fight 500,000 for a fight in mixed martial arts. I'm thinking, what? Then I found the nearest MMA gym, which was Dark Circle Martial Arts at the time, and from there the rest was history, man. I just quit everything. I jumped addicted personality again. I quit personal training. I sold my car. I begged my mom to move back into a house because I said, "Mom, I've got a plan. Okay. I'm going to be a professional fighter." I'll tell you what she said in a bit. You're going to be a professional fighter, and I need 6 months. I need 6 months, like maybe 8 months to a year of I just need somewhere to sleep so I can train, and then I'm going to make a career out of this and make money. My mum hit the roof. I'm telling you, my mum was like, "You're throwing away a career." She probably threw some couple of licks in there as well.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was a madness. But I had met this madness at the start. I'm jumping a bit. It was a madness at the start because I really had to have that self-belief in myself.
Yes.
And I had no one backing me, man. My mum slide backed me because she let me move back in. So I knew that in my head, but she wasn't saying that every click of the clock of the day. You can't throw away his career. You can't throw away his career. Every click of the clock of the day. Wow. It was motivating, though, because I did not stay in that house. I trained every single minute of the day.
I can imagine. I want to prove that my aspiration and goals are going to come to fruition.
Yes. So I ended up getting my first fight within a month and a half of starting mixed martial arts. And then my debut was, I think it's September the 24th, fighting this guy called Michael Carron. And that was a hell of a fight, man. Check it out on YouTube. Blood everywhere. Just not my blood.
Yes, I recall it.
It's crazy ass fight, bro. So imagine now, I'm in, do you know Marquis? Marquis Barbers.
No. Oh,
Marquis
sorry. Yes, Marcus Barbers.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know about Marquis and Barbers. So imagine now, I'm in Marquis Barbers about 3 weeks before my fight. Marquis are always like, we always have conversations, and he's always believed in me. And so big shout out to Marquis. And one day he goes, I want you to meet somebody, right? And I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, go, there's a guy sitting in the corner on his phone. And he goes, go speak to that guy, go tell him that you're a fighter. I was thinking, all right, like, you mean I've been a fighter for like 2 months, not even 2 months, and I'm like, well, being a fighter like kickboxing for about maybe 2 years before that, but now mixed martial artist, 2 months to get me, and I'm gonna give it the big end. Anyway, I rolled up to him. I said, "Yeah, I'm a fighter," and he goes, "How much do you train?" So I start waffling about, oh yeah, I go in the morning, I go in the night. Roman looked at me, took one look, and I can't remember what he said. I can't remember what he said. He says he wants me to meet him at some other time. And he goes, as I was talking more about my training, he goes, hold on 1 second, and walks outside. And that's all I knew of him. I didn't know his name. I didn't know nothing. I was thinking, this is a weird conversation.
Very weird.
Very weird. He just got off because he had to catch a flight. That was it. And then, so I continued to get my hair done. And Marky just said to me, well done. And I was thinking, all right, like, cool. And he was like, do you know who that is? And I was like, nah. And he was like, it's Kerrith Brown. And I was like, okay, Kerrith Brown. I've never watched, obviously I didn't really too watch the Olympics at the time. He's a big name. For those people that don't know who he is, he's been to the Olympics twice, came back with silver medal for Great Britain, and is now the president of IMAF, but was the president of Judo Association at the time. And he was looking for a person from Wolverhampton, because he's from Wolverhampton himself, and he was looking to look after somebody, you know. And so that cross path, he came back as he was leaving, just to drop his card off to Marky, and Marky dropped his card off and said, give him a call, right? And that connection of the relationship, them two, me and him connecting, really started my career off. Like, because, man, he like a father figure. He just really helped guide me, put me in the right places to train, and just yeah, boom, blew up from there, and it went mad. But yeah, so he connected me with my first coach, Fitzroy Davis, who doing judo, and he came to that first fight with Michael Carron.
The bloody fight.
The bloody fight where man just got taken down. Like, I took myself down, I think.
The adrenaline, man. It was adrenaline and everything. First fight,
dude. I think I latched onto my man's leg and pulled him on top of me. This big 300 Spartan geezer. I'm thinking, what the? I clapped his head off a few times though.
Definitely.
I dropped him. It was a mad fight. It was a mad fight. So yeah, that's the start of Wolverhampton.
Excellent.
That's the start of my career.
So the transition and the progression, because there's clearly been a massive progression in your fighting style, especially with the last performance. Oh yeah, definitely masterful performance. What do we put that down to? Apart from obviously hard work and repetition, etc., but have you moved to another gym? How to take us through that sort of progression?
So I would say I've been at this gym in Birmingham for a long time now, and with the same team for a long time, pretty much for all of my career. So after that fight with Michael Carron, I stayed in Wolverhampton for not too long after that. And then I started to travel over to UTC in Birmingham.
Okay, Erdington, yeah.
Erdington, yes. And that's where I met the likes of Leon Edwards, as you spoke earlier, and Yannick Bahati, and all them killers up there. And that was when really my career started to really take a massive like churn forward, because I started doing the IMAFs in amateurs as well, and I've done a English tournament over here,
Okay.
and it was you do 2 fights in one day and then a fight on another day, and all of them I just cleaned all these guys out. I think it was first round knockout for all of them.
Wow.
I think that one went one full round, but he just didn't come out in the second round. I just went on. Listen, I just went on a mad tear. Like, I'm just so dedicated, as I am now, you know. And to come to where I am now, it's just been a massive cultivation of all that time and effort that I put in. I haven't moved no gym. I haven't changed like coaches and stuff. I still pretty relatively have the same coaches from the start of the mid part of my profession, my amateur career to where I am in my professional career now. So it's like nothing really shifted. I always knew where I'm going to be. I got a long way to go still. I know, see, that last performance and the last couple performances look spectacular, but there's so much more in the tank, and there's so much more to unleash. There's so much more force to unleash. Then there's a couple more lightsaber moves, more forms, everything just leveling up every day.
Well, the submission game is clearly getting better. What belt do you currently hold?
I hold a blue belt, so it's nothing like mad or spectacular. But I must say, this blue belt is from Chu, and if anyone doesn't know about Chu, he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner in Birmingham, and he don't give out no belts. You know, you probably do some snatching belt, but you know, it's not really likely to give out belts. So, under tutelage of Tom Breeze as well, another spectacular grappler, mixed martial arts, current UFC fighter.
Is it Renegade, right?
Renegade. That's at Renegade Jiu-Jitsu, yeah. So that's where we are all based now. UTC like went kaput, and then everyone top guys in Birmingham just ended up in UTC, in Renegade, which is a blessing, silver lining blessing, really.
Powerhouse,
powerhouse, man.
Definitely.
Massive powerhouse.
I mean, mixing it up with all of the quote unquote killers you've got there, steel sharpens steel. And I think we can see through everyone's performance. Everyone is getting better and better with each fight.
Leaps and bounds, man. Leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And when you see everyone after this quarantine, man, woof.
Well, we're kind of seeing it already. I mean, not with yourselves, because there's no real opportunity to go to Fight Island with to do much apart from Jai, who was able to go over and do his thing. Pity what happened. He was winning the whole of that flipping fight, man.
Man, sucks. It's the nature of the game, though.
Yes,
nature of the game.
And it only takes is one punch, one kick, one knee, a quick submission. And that's what gets you the win ultimately.
Yeah. But all the experiences he's taken, all the experience he's gone through there is definitely in the bag, and he's signed to the UFC now, so
yes,
he's got another chance.
Definitely, and it was an excellent showing. It was an excellent showing against a veteran, who's very dangerous. Another 10 seconds and we would have walked away with a very clean victory. But as you say, I think No, don't worry. I think everyone could see the performance, they can see the skill, what this guy's got to bring, and I think the next fight is going to be even better. Talk us through because you're a Bellator fighter now, right? Formerly
signed to Bellator, yeah.
Who was you fighting? What promotion was you with prior to that?
So I was a free agent. So I mean, I was signed to Bama when I first made my debut, and my debut didn't go so well. I had a fight lined up with some gypsy guy, Charlie Boy Harrod, and that fight was meant to tuition, and he ended up running, and then I ended up having to take a short notice fight at featherweight, and the weight cut just. I had like 11 days to make 145, and
Yeah.
it just sapped everything out of me, man. So I ended up getting beat on decision because I think I must have been punching like it's like super slow,
Slow motion.
slow. Everything was just moving slow. Everything was moving slow motion with me on that night. But I went back to the drawing board. Bama went bust, and then I ended up being a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Then my second fight from there was I went to MTK show in Newcastle.
Yes.
And again, my opponent pulled out, so they ended up giving me another replacement guy, and I blitzed through him in like one punch or something like that. It's just he gone. But he shouldn't have been in there with me anyway, man.
What was his record?
I can't remember. I think he was second fight as well.
Okay.
Or something like that. So he didn't have loads of fights.
Mm-hmm.
But then my other fight, which was in Golden Ticket Promotions, where I won the title there, and coming against some stiff competition there in Wolverhampton, but then again I blitzed through him, took him out, and then I got my chance to get on Bellator, which relatively short amounts of fights, and then I went on there, fought Sam Slater, very tough guy. Moves very well. A lot of people need to give him more credit for what he is, because obviously I think his record's like 50-50, or maybe a losing record now. But he's just been coming up against killers. I'm sorry, man.
Wow, that's it.
Jedi. So great showing with him. Good 2 rounds, and then here we are now with the last performance, which was against Tim Barnett, former RDX champion. Is that how you say it? With how they used to do it?
I think you're right.
Yeah, so that means he's a European champion for like with all the jargon. So he was a former champion under Bama, a very high level, and smoked him. So we need to just step up, man. I'm looking for more bigger competition. I'm looking to grow more, and you may see me fight for a world title by the end of next year.
Trustfully. I mean, I think. I mean, what would you say your relationship or the situation has been with Bellator? How has it been? Has it been good? Have you been, because it's obviously a big promotion?
I feel like they've been good to me. Like, listen, no one's going to force you to do something that you don't want to do. So if you don't want to fight the best guys, I guess like there's ways and ways around it where you can negotiate and stuff like that. But I'm not that type of person, so I fit very well within Bellator, and Bellator want to put on the best fights. I'm ready to go. I have the skills to back it up and produce a superstar as they want. You know, they want superstars in there. So they're looking for spectacular performers, looking for spectacular martial artists, and I fit the bill very well.
Definitely. I mean, take this this crazy situation that's going on globally. I mean, how many times ideally would you like to fight?
Dude, I was supposed to have 5 fights this year. I was supposed to fight in February, which that didn't materialize because some opponent issues or something like that. And then so I had the solidified in May. Obviously that gone. Then I wanted to fight in September, which would have been highly likely. And then once again, you know, I was going to figure out the end of the year when it comes, you know?
Yeah.
So I can't say when I'm next fighting, but I definitely will be fighting by the end of the year. But obviously I can't announce anything just yet.
Cool. Well, we need something from, I mean, because at the moment the only game in town is Uncle Dana in the UFC, really. I mean, Bellator's put on one event so far. No, 2 events, isn't it? 2 events have put on so far.
Yeah, in America. Yeah.
Exactly. And they've got a wealth of European talent that, you know, needs to be able to perform ultimately. But as you say, silver lining and all, it's giving you, as we discussed earlier, it's giving you the opportunity to tighten skills, to hone game.
Yes.
to perfect the craft, to master self. So it's, I guess, without overtraining and stuff, I think all you can do is just continue to grow and be a better fighter each time.
Exactly that, yeah. And you know, if you're not in this game to like improve yourself and be the best you can be, I don't know what you're doing it for. You know, you just doing it just to stay fit, then don't be a professional fighter. Sort of thing. So it's
Well,
how I think. What are you gonna say?
So would you consider yourself a prize fighter and it's all about money, or are you a prize fighter but ultimately you want to be a champion?
The latter, definitely. I want to be a champion, so I'm not doing it just like as a day job just to get money. There's plenty of other things I can do for that. Man, I can whip my top off and do that. It's like it's not about the money for me. Yes, the money's good, and you want it with it. You want to provide yourself a good life. You want to be able to fix your roof and ting. All that.
Yes.
Good. Like life's out here. Life's real out here.
It is.
So cornflakes cost the same for everybody. So money, yes, it is definitely a big factor. That's why you fight for the big promotions. But world champion, be the best that you can be the greatest of all time. That is always the end game, as people say.
Solidify oneself in the annals of history to say, look, this guy from Wolverhampton, he's done this. So, weight class wise, can you see yourself obviously not moving down to 145? Could you see yourself moving up to another weight class, or doing some catch weight matches to maybe get those regular fights that you want, maybe, and to mix it up to say, well, look, I'm not just someone who will only fight at this weight class kind of thing, and maybe look at to what people are doing and becoming double champions? Is that maybe on the cards? I know it's very early on in the game yet, but if, as a man thinketh, so it shall be.
Yes, exactly. And I fought at 170 before. My first fight was at 170. Yes, it was. My first fight was at 170. So I've definitely got a lot of experience in 170. I've done a world tournament, an amateur world tournament at 170. So like it's definitely there on the cards.
I like that.
Definitely there on the cards.
I like that.
And who doesn't want two belts? I got 3 from kickboxing here chilling, and one from mixed one from MMA. You want more belts, of course you do. You want it all. You want it all.
The world isn't enough, and it's good to see that you. I mean, again, we're still pretty early on in your career and stuff, but it's good to see the willingness and the real you being shown. We're seeing a lot, and we do know it's now more and more sports entertainment. And I think there's nothing wrong with sports entertainment, but we're getting a bit kind of, should you be saying those kind of things? Or, aren't you crossing the boundaries a little bit kind of? So it's good to see that you're still maintaining, as I say, who you are, and, what speaks for itself is what happens inside the ring.
Every time, man. And I must add as well, 145 is not out of the question. I could still make that 145 limit. You just need to give me more than 11 days notice.
Okay.
So with that hint, it could be a trifecta. It could be triple belts.
Okay, I like
triple
it.
belts in the future.
You could be the one to do it, man. You could definitely be the one to do it. So discussing weight classes and weight cuts.
Yeah.
Clearly, as you say, you fought 3 different weight divisions in essence. How do you feel that's taking a toll on your health overall?
If you do it right, and you have my nutritionist, Mr. Sport Nutrition, with the plugs right there, boom, boom. Boom. He's amazing at what he does, and when you work with people, professionals, and people who are passionate about their own craft and with their knowledge, and you all work together as a team, anything is possible, and in a nice, healthy way too. If the body can't make 145, for instance, like you'll be able to know that from long time out, you know. As I grow older, you know, as I go into my, like, say, late 30s, 145 probably would never, probably won't happen. But as what a lot of people don't know, like, they look at me, you know, sometimes they see my top off and stuff, and they see me as, like, you know, 90 kilo plus or 85 kilo plus person. I'm not that heavy, you know. I don't walk around that heavy at all. I sit comfortably around about 75, 76 kilos. So it's very within my range.
It's manageable.
Yeah. So the 70 kilo weight cut is easy. It's baby food for me. It's nice and comfortable. It's how it's supposed to be. In my eyes, anyway.
Versus the extreme weight cuts we're seeing people walking around at like 190 and all these kind of stuff, going down to
190 to 155. Yeah, that would be my weight cut. My weight cut from where I am now to featherweight. It would be a normal weight cut. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying with that.
Do you feel would the planes be evened a little bit more if people fought at their natural weights, and only and there was a limit, for instance, how much weight you could put on or take off?
It would definitely make the sport more safer. I'd say you'd have a less damage to the body if people were cutting less weight. That's definitely a no-brainer. Whether people do that or not, it's so ingrained within the sport that, you know, if you're the guy that doesn't cut weight, like, for instance, if I fight at 170, I walk around at 170 and I fight at 170, there's going to be guys that are like nearly 200 pounds plus come down to 170, you know. And there's always that size to skill factor where it does nullify itself, where the size, no matter how skilled you are, the weight and the size can, you know, have a massive effect of the fight. And that's why you do see people continue to do weight cuts and fit into the category so they can fight the same size people.
Yes.
You know, it's mad, isn't it?
It is. It really is. I mean, I've heard, and when I first heard about the adding additional weight classes, and I think Bellator do it quite good, because they do like catch weight matches and stuff like that. If for instance people are having difficulties making weight, or if it's short notice, I think that should be the norm. You know, even if you've signed the contract at, say, 155 and 6 weeks out or whatever, both parties are thinking, you know what, let's forget this. Let's just do it normal. Let's go in at 165 or 170 and let's just do the fight, you know.
Yeah. The
pressure's off,
man. It is. The pressure is off. But I also feel like, you know, if you sign that contract for 155 and you're struggling to make 155, you're not disciplined enough. I also feel like because I've got two ways of thinking about it. You know, it's kind of like if I say I'm going to fight this weight, and that's the weight I've signed to a contract. I know there's less fights, less weight categories than boxing, which gives people less opportunities to fit into that one thing. But I feel like as a professional, you should stick. You know, boom. If this is what you go, this is what you're fighting at, this is where you should stick to and stuff. But I'm not against people making these catch weights. No, I'm not against it at all. Do you think?
Key thing you said
I'm a
there.
Professional.
If you've signed the contracts to ultimately, because, you know, you're not playing tennis. You know, you're physically trying to hurt each other and potentially,
essentially,
you know, knock somebody out, or to cause them to not want to get off their stool or to submit them. So this is, you know, this is real. This is for keeps. This is, you know, you go in a 5-round, 25-minute war with someone, you're leaving a piece of you inside there, not just the physical sweat and blood, but you're leaving a piece of yourself in that, you know, in that squared circle, in that octagon. So it's, you know, as you say, it's the professional mindset, and it's disappointing. I'm clearly not a professional fighter, but it's disappointing to see when people are missing weights by 10 pounds and stuff.
Big
crazy.
Speaking about Joy, you know, his opponent missed weight big time.
Was it 9 pounds?
Something like that. It was big time, big miss weight. Big miss weight. You shouldn't be allowed to fight at lightweight anymore now.
Yeah, there should be, exactly. Very good
You know?
point. Very good point. There should be a cutoff point. Okay, if you've missed weight like twice, we've got to have a really, really serious conversation, and you've got to invest into yourself a lot more, or you're moving off. And if you don't want to move up, see you later.
See you later. Yeah, it's one of them. It is.
That's ultimately how it's got to be. Career-wise for yourself, obviously you've laid out a nice blueprint and potentially world championship before the end of 2021.
I tried to keep some cards back. You get me?
Oh, of course. Just based upon our conversation and stuff, I can see that you're quite versatile, and I can potentially see, depending on the success you have, would you consider moving to other organizations? I mean, the creme de la creme which is put out there is the UFC. I put Bellator, UFC, One Championship, PFL, pretty much all at the same level of sorts. Clearly, in regards to marketing and recognition, the UFC is really up there. But in regards to the quality of fighters, each promotion has their standouts. So there's not really one higher than the other. But could you potentially see yourself, as I say, after maybe, capturing that championship and defending it maybe a few times, seeking another organization?
Super fights.
Yes.
Just be straight super fights. So you're the champion of this organization, champion versus champion. Let's go.
And Bellator are excellent in facilitating that. So I think outside of the UFC, I think that for some strange reason that, and a lot of people think it would lower their brand to go to another organization and have potentially one of their champions lose. But
that is a big risk, though, isn't it?
And it's happened. Obviously, Chuck Liddell, went over to Pride and stuff. But if you're gonna say, and everyone says that, like, for instance, what took place earlier on this with DC and Stipe, the baddest, best heavyweights on earth, the baddest lightweight on earth, the baddest middleweight. If that is indeed the statement that you're making, you're not just saying this is the. They've got to. They should be going up against every challenge. I mean, how about this for a scenario? Every year we do like a Royal Rumble type thing, and we have literally not literally like the 30-man Royal Rumble, but I'm saying like literally we have the like tournaments, and we have and it's not for each other's title. It's for the super challenger or the super champion kind of title, and UFC versus Bellator, UFC versus One Championship Fighter, and they just fight, and at the end of that they win a title in that little organization, however they want to put it, and then they go back to their own organization.
That sounds lit, man. That sounds lit. I was thinking like every 4-year thing, like
Olympic
you could
style.
Be Olympic style, like the Titan. You're the Titan of the world. Or something like that. You got the juices flowing, man. I was thinking about that. Something along the lines.
All it would take is more than 2 organizations to be open for it, because clearly Ryzen's open for it. Clearly Bellator, Scott Coker's open for it.
See, the thing is, I feel like because UFC is so established, they're not gonna want to. They're not gonna want to do that. Bellator's really established too, but because UFC's been like the first, and it's got the history, it can stand so strong on its own. And Dana knows that. Dana and everyone, all the people that run UFC, they know that. So they're gonna keep it separate as much as possible, which is smart business.
It is. It's definitely smart business. It's smart business, and it does protect their brands. But
but fighting wise,
and for what the fans, like early thousands, we got to see the best, the best of the best fighting, the best of the best in the most strangest organizations. Well, you think. This company's not even going anymore, but look these two are fighting each other, kind of thing, because it was about number one, old school. They wanted, and it was about pay. They wanted to get paid. They wanted to compete,
Mm-hmm.
It was about, really combat sports at that point. Now it's sports entertainment. It's
Yeah,
raw
yeah, yeah,
sports.
yeah.
The best,
Who
sometimes the
pulls in the
fighting the
most
best.
money?
Yeah. Who puts the
Mm-hmm.
most bums on the seats? And I guess, yeah, from a business standpoint, that needs to take place. But you should strategically be doing things. Okay, well, we know this guy isn't the best, person to get people on the seats. Let's add this fight on this event just to,
Mm.
get the people in. And maybe when they see this guy fight, they'll think, actually, you know what, he's not that bad, actually, and
No,
get
no.
his numbers up.
Well, that's why I do like the ranking system. I do like the ranking system in the UFC, like how it kind of takes out the element of oh, this person brings in the most seats, so he should be fighting for this,
Mm,
like, or blah blah blah, like jumping. You do have them anonymous, the guys that do bring. Like everyone talks about Conor McGregor, like how he jumped up really far, or Israel Adesanya, but they backed it. You know what I mean? They backed their case.
yeah.
At the same time, you got to look at that. But and the ranking system does help with people who maybe have more of like a Klitschko style fighter, and it
Yes.
maybe doesn't, maybe not the most wow sort of thing, but then can climb his way up. And for a fighter's fighter, he's bad. He's bad, or he's ranked 2. Yeah, he's bad. You know, I do like them rank things, and I feel like I would like to see that in Bellator. I would like to see them rank that ranking system.
I wasn't aware. So, but you're saying Bellator doesn't have a ranking system?
Not that I see of, no.
Okay,
We have
that's
like a world ranking system, but I don't see like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sort of thing. You
okay,
know,
okay. So as you say that
if
that
I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Again, I don't really go on the internet too much in it, so
no, but but that seems crazy. But you're with the organization and stuff, so I'll acquiesce to that. But that would, so in essence, they can just make whatever fight they want, what they want to make, which,
it's essentially, yeah. Which same as the UFC could do that too. They
well,
have done that
they do
bag of
that.
times. They do. Yeah, let's not get it wrong. Yeah, they do that. Not really adhere to the ranking system's there, and they don't really use it too tough,
I
innit?
mean, let's look at one of your training partners, Rocky. He should have been the
Yeah,
champion already.
should have had his shot already.
COVID saved Tyron Woodley, and I was a massive Tyron Woodley fan. I was
COVID saved Tyron Woodley. What a
saved him.
statement!
It
Yeah,
did. It saved him because I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it gave him temporary reprieve because you remember he
Mm-hmm.
was saying, "Why am I coming over to the UK for to fight Leon Edwards? He ain't got
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah,
name and all this kind of
yeah.
stuff. I'm a former champion," and he goes through this litany, that little recorded message he's got in his head about, "I knocked out Robbie Lawler, and he was the most dangerous motherfucker." I mean, like, come on, man. You've lost your
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
championship.
yeah.
You didn't show up. Usman did his thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're barling, say you don't want to come to the UK and fight
To the
Rocky, who's,
UK to fight, yeah.
and then you finally signed the something, and then COVID takes place, and then Rocky don't even get a chance to finish you in possibly the third or fourth round. So then
Crazy,
Gilbert
man.
comes over.
Mm-hmm. Gilbert, but another American, innit?
This is it, and just shuts him down. It's pathetic, man. I'm very disappointed to see that Rocky hasn't been able to get that strap, or even at least get the opportunity to run it back with Usman.
Yeah. 100%,
It,
100%. But
it would be
his time will come, man. Hopefully.
well. What about staying on that same Rocky topic? He was physically assaulted down in by Jorge Masvidal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was a man and said, you know what? I'm not going to press charges on you.
Let's sort it out in the cage.
Let's do it in the cage thing.
Mm,
And
mm,
who
mm.
and Game Bread, as his name is, he's running.
They're all running. They're all running from Rocky. They're all
All
are.
of them they don't want to fight, and it's
I,
look.
I run. I run from Rocky in training sometimes as well. I don't blame him.
Steel sharp and still, but look, he's getting paid
Still
some
sharp and
some
still bro.
silly money, man. Some silly money. Do the thing.
Uh.
You did what you did backstage. That should have been the next fight. He shouldn't have fought Askren and all that. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
Now he's
But that's again shows like the money fight. You get me? That they were like versus Askren. In their eyes, they were like, yeah, money fight.
and look what happens.
And he got he got dusted, bro. You retired him?
Pretty much. Well, Maya, Damian Maya retired him, didn't he? In essence, because he went to play against Maya. But yeah, poor Ben. Because Ben's is an interesting character. Don't necessarily enjoy his fighting style. He's proficient,
No.
good at what he does. He's more entertaining out of the ring versus in the ring.
Yeah, he is, and he gets a lot of asses on seats because of that.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, when you watch him fight, I don't like his style. I don't even like his hair. Nothing against him, but just a lot of things. I just look at it and I'm like, get the fuck off my TV, man. Like, what are you doing, bro?
He's very, maybe obviously because they keep on bringing up about his hip and stuff. He needs a hip replacement. So, well, is it a hip replacement or hip surgery? Because when he's in the ring, he doesn't look very athletic at all. And I'm thinking,
he just looks awkward, man.
Awkward as hell.
It literally looks like a joke. It does look like a joke. You get me?
Trustfully, because he's got very high wrestling credentials and stuff. So maybe it's down to his hip being totally messed up and whatever way he does look.
He's been fighting for a long time as well, so he's gonna have some permanent damage. It's the nature of the sport.
Definitely. So, have you had fun?
Me? Oh yeah. I've had absolute fun, man. See, it's been good to talk to you, bro.
Definitely. What is the best way for the people to get in contact with you, like your social medias, etc.?
So the best way to talk to me, the best way to keep in touch with me, I'm not very good, as you've probably been trying to message me a few times. I'm not so good at replying back. But Jedi Aches, so it's J3DIAKES, which is Jedi Aches across all social media platforms, even TikTok now. You get me?
Oh, you're up on the TikTok now.
Yeah, I just throw a few little videos and things together. That's one of the quarantine things, you get me. When you got bored and you just.
You've got is but time on your hands when the world's on the. So actually, before we actually close out, how have you been dealing with this lockdown, and what are your thoughts on this this event, this global event that's taking place?
So when the lockdown initially happened, it was my birthday, like literally 2 weeks after my birthday. So the last time I went out of the house was for my birthday. I don't really go out that much, but went out. Me and my girl went and done some darts, and she whooped my ass, but I couldn't let her win. You get me? I couldn't let her win. So
that competitive spirits.
I pulled through. I used the force. And got some bullseyes. But I was lucky because my next door neighbor, he's moved now, but he's used to be a boxer. And so he knew his way around the pads and knew to hold pads and stuff. So we just came together every single morning and just got our work in, man. We just 2-3 hour sessions and just every single time. And luckily the weather was good. I got a back garden, and most times there was a few rainy sessions, but most times I just could go in, put in a shift, and I spent time working on my flexibility. I spent time working on new patterns. Spent time keeping the old patterns sharp. And just watching a bunch of old fights. Oops, I'm saying low battery. Yeah, watching a bunch of old fights and stuff, and movies, and chilling out, man. Quarantine's been good to me. Absolutely good.
Feeding self, entertainment wise, sharpening skills, and mastering crafts. Akonne, it's been a pleasure.
The way of the Force.
Yes, the Force. Everyone definitely jump onto the Instagram, man. You got some good stuff on there. And based upon the technology running out, battery going low, it's been excellent. Thank you very much. It's been an honor speaking to you, and we'll definitely catch up again soon.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. And you have a brilliant day as well, yeah?
Definitely.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Truth.